It is 1:21 a.m., April 26, 1986. The night air in Pripyat is crisp and quiet, illuminated by the faint glow of streetlights. At the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, workers move calmly through the corridors, the hum of machinery filling the silence. In the control room of Reactor number 4, a routine test is about to begin, a test meant to ensure the reactor's safety. But tonight, a series of missteps and ignored warnings will set the stage for one of the worst nuclear disasters in history. Outside, families rest in their apartments, mothers tucking children into bed, completely unaware of the invisible threat that will soon consume their city. The stars glisten overhead as the soft sound of the Pripyat River whispers across the deserted promenade. It is an ordinary night, a night that will soon become anything but ordinary. In those moments, before the alarm, before the explosion, this was a city like any other, a place where people worked, lived, and hoped for a brighter future. But soon, the world would bear witness to the dark side of progress and the unimaginable cost of human error. It is 1:23 a.m. Suddenly, a deafening roar shakes the earth. The night air is torn apart as Reactor number 4 erupts in a blinding flash. The concrete roof, weighing over 1,000 tons, is hurled into the night like a toy. The walls of the reactor core explode outward, releasing a massive column of burning gases, molten metal, and highly radioactive debris into the skies. Control room operators are thrown from their stations. Alarms shriek and the air is filled with choking dust and blinding light. The reactor, the heart of the plant, is now an open wound, burning and hemorrhaging death. The midnight stillness of Pripyat is replaced by terror. Flames illuminate the skyline, and a poisonous mist begins to rise across the city. In those moments, no one fully understands what has just happened. To the workers inside, it feels like an earthquake. To the residents of Pripyat, it is an unknown terror, soon to claim countless lives. The air is thick with danger, an invisible threat that will haunt this place for generations. The world has just witnessed the birth of a disaster that will redefine the nuclear age. The air shimmered faintly in the midnight mist, but this was no ordinary mist. It was a cocktail of death. At 1:25 a.m., moments after the explosion, a force unseen began spreading across the plant, across Pripyat and across the skies. An invisible killer, radiation, surged forth, burning its way into the air, the soil, the water, and into every living thing in its path. To the workers at the plant, confusion quickly gave way to terror. They felt a strange sting upon their skin. Nausea bubbled deep within their stomachs. The light from the burning reactor illuminated a strange, faint glow, a phenomenon called Cherenkov radiation, hinting at the unimaginable levels of radioactivity flooding the area. Those brave enough to approach the site felt the sting intensify. Their skin began to blister and redden as neutrons and gamma rays surged through their bodies. To the families sleeping in Pripyat, this invisible force was already making its way across the city, entering their lungs, contaminating their homes, and embedding itself within their DNA. By morning, the disaster would evolve from a fiery explosion into an ecological and human tragedy. a silent terror that no one could run from, an unseen force that would haunt the Earth for generations. It is the morning of April 27th, 1986. The city of Pripyat wakes to a silence that feels unnatural. The air hums faintly with the sound of distant helicopters. An urgent voice crackles across radios and loudspeakers, instructing residents to gather their belongings and prepare for a temporary evacuation. For 3 days, they are told, but for most, it will be forever. Buses and trucks roll into the city, lining up like steel beasts. Confused families shuffle from their homes, carrying hastily packed suitcases, cradling children and pets. The faint, invisible sting of radiation laces the air as frightened faces glance toward the burning silhouette of Reactor number 4. An orderly evacuation quickly turns into a scene of heartbreak. Fathers helping the elderly down stairways, mothers trying to soothe terrified children, pets looking up with trusting eyes. In a matter of hours, Pripyat, a bustling Soviet town of 50,000 people, becomes a ghost city. The silence that settles is one that will haunt the world for generations. In the mist of that morning, an entire chapter of human life is sealed away, abandoned to the growing forces of nature and decay. In the hours and days following the disaster, a new army emerged, the Liquidators. They came from every corner of the Soviet Union. Firefighters, soldiers, engineers, volunteers. They came knowing little, fearing much, yet stepping forward to contain a force no one truly understood. Firefighters battled the burning reactor, water hoses in hand, as radioactive fragments rained down upon them. The air shimmered with the faint glow of ionized particles. Soldiers shoveled burning graphite by hand from the roof, each second under its toxic shadow, a race for survival. Engineers devised crude and desperate ways to seal the reactor, pouring concrete, sand, lead, and boron from helicopters. Miners worked under the ruins, digging long tunnels to prevent molten fuel from reaching the water table and triggering an even greater catastrophe. These men became the unsung heroes of history. They sacrificed their health, and many gave their lives, so that countless others might live. To this day, their courage stands as a reminder of the human spirit in its darkest hour. Days turned into weeks, weeks into years. The Chernobyl disaster reshaped the land itself. An area of over 2,600 square kilometers was sealed off, the exclusion zone. Once a bustling region of farms, forests, and families, it became a realm where nature and radiation entwined. The silence here is broken only by the wind and the cries of wildlife. Plants reclaim crumbling buildings, their roots twisting through concrete walls. The abandoned Ferris wheel of Pripyat sways faintly in the breeze, a relic of lost childhood. The red forest, trees that once stood tall and green, turned a burnt crimson shade after absorbing the radiation. Today, the zone is both a warning and a wonder, a place where time stopped and nature evolved to adapt. Wolves, boars, and even rare species now roam freely where humans can no longer live. The ghostly ruins of this forgotten world stand as a testament to mankind's fragility, resilience, Chernobyl stands as a timeless reminder of both the fragility and strength of the human spirit. What began as a routine test became the worst nuclear disaster in history. A tragedy that reshaped nations, shaped policy, and reshaped the planet itself. Yet from this disaster came lessons that still echo across the world. It taught us the cost of nectara, the dangers of silence, and the resilience of life. Today, the forests around Chernobyl flourish, a symbol that nature can reclaim its place even after the darkest moments. The ghosts of Pripyat whisper across the ruins, reminding us that every decision we make has a price. As we move forward, may we remember Chernobyl not just as a grave chapter in our history, but as a beacon, a call to honor the planet, to respect the forces we unleash, and to protect the future generations who will inherit the world we leave behind. The tragedy of Chernobyl is not its end, but its lesson. The future rests in how well we listen.